stop taking Zepbound, why the 60-week marker is so important on your Zepbound weight loss journey. Hi, beautiful friends. I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I've lost over 103 pounds. I've done over 100 plus injections of Mounjaro and Zepbound and Tirzepatide compound. The combination of those is because of the shortage. And on today's episode, I want to deep dive in of an article that was recently written. And I'll cite all my sources. Click the ... more for the description link below. And you can see all the information I'm going to be talking about why this 60-week marker, or 14 months, if you're taking GLP-1 medication, WEGOVY, Zepbound, Ozempic, Mounjaro, semaglutide compound, Tirzepatide compound, I'm lumping all of these together, as to why this 14-month, the 60-week marker is so important, is what is happening and what they're seeing in the data. They're meeting scientists, and I'll cite my sources down below, or the researchers, I should say, are seeing that people are hitting plateaus at that part. And so what I want to do, and myself included, I've been on this medication for over 24 months. So I'm 10 months longer than what they're talking about. And I personally have been clawing and scraping and going as hard as I can, because I'm still 27 pounds away from my goal weight. Technically, I looked at my BMI. Technically, it's maybe 22 pounds away from being healthy weight. Right now, I'm still considered overweight, but I was morbidly obese, wearing size 22, 24 pants, and now I'm in size 14 pants. And so what the data is showing is this for some people, and this is where it's for some people. I am at pickup line, and so there we go. We're just going to keep going with that in the background. Where we're seeing is this plateau that people are hitting is at this 14-month mark, and that would be true for me. Not necessarily at the 14, mine was further past that, but where people feel like they stop losing weight and that they should stop taking Zepbound or stop taking WEGOVY or stop whatever GLP-1 medication. And so what actually would be encouraged, if you are on WEGOVY, which is semaglutide, and is Ozempic, WEGOVY, semaglutide, same thing, all the active ingredients in them, is perhaps talking to your healthcare provider. And this conversation needs to always be with your healthcare provider. I am not a healthcare provider. I don't pretend to play one on the internet like some other influencers. I don't. I'm going to always punch you to our healthcare provider. My favorite is Join Fridays. Use the discount code QUEEN. But maybe going from WEGOVY over to Tirzepatide, that would be because the data is slightly higher with Tirzepatide than it is with semaglutide. So going from WEGOVY to Zepbound for obesity care management, because the data is slightly higher, and maybe that will help. Now, if you make that switch, you may have to start on the lowest dose of Zepbound. I don't know, because I'm not a healthcare provider and I've never done that. I've always been making the switch from Mounjaro to Zepbound because it's the exact same medication, just 2 different FDA approvals. It was a lateral move with it. For other people, you may have to start at, say, if you went from WEGOVY and maybe you're at the highest dose. I don't know. I'm just hypothetically talking about this to walk through to help prep you with some action items on this, because I think it's so important that we are well educated when we get near that 14-month mark, that 60-week mark, about some of these potential changes that we may be seeing or may not be seeing. Maybe you get to that part and you're like, no, I'm on maintenance. I'm great. I've lost all the weight that I wanted to lose. I'm super happy. I'm in this healthy lifestyle and life is gravy. Or other people like myself are like, I'm still scrapping here. I'm still fighting. I'm not there yet. And I'm still really having to work really, really hard. I wish it was super easy. I wish I could be like, it was so simple. It was so. But with it switching over from WEGOVY to Zepbound, it may not work. That was one of the things that this article talked about, is it very well may not work. And having that conversation with your healthcare provider then you drop all the way down maybe to the beginning dose of Zepbound, which is 2.5 milligrams, the starting dose, and then have to retitrate up. And that just creates problems for you. Maybe, I don't know, but these are outlets to have this conversation, because your medical conditions, there's different degrees on the spectrum of obesity. I don't know if they call it spectrum. I'm calling it spectrum, but different degrees of obesity with that. And so that's something to think about too, is switching from WEGOVY over to Zepbound. It may not work, or it may work beautifully. It may work wonders for you, and that may be the answer that you're looking for until maybe you get to that 14-month mark. I don't know, because we don't have a lot of data on that, of if you then get to that next step, would then the same thing occur? I don't know, but that is one option. The other thing to think about too is when people are hitting plateaus, or they're like, oh, I've lost 103 pounds. I know I'm not at my plateau. I had been at my weight stall. And I hope it gives you encouragement, my encouragement, strength, and hope. of that I was at this highest, I was at this weight stall. And if you watch those videos, I mean, I have over 500 GLP-1 videos. You can go back and binge watch all of them. I love when you guys do, from like 2 years ago up to this point in my journey with my daily episodes, of where I kept saying, I'm at this weight, I'm at the same weight, and it'll drive me nuts. People are like, are you still at the same weight? And I'm like, yes, Linda from Wisconsin, I am. Linda from Wisconsin. I don't know who that is. I just made that up. But you know, I love you. If you're named Linda or you're from Wisconsin, you know I love my fellow Wisconsians. I'm not a fellow, but you know what I mean. And if it is in that range of a half a pound to 2 pounds per week, then hot dog. For me, it's 1 pound per week, which tells me, I have said I'm I almost said hypo loser. Hypo responder. I'm not a slower responder. I'm not a slow responder. I'm right where I'm supposed to be, which is a half a pound to 2 pounds per week. And so doing the math that way in my brain, though, to be brutally candid, authentic, and honest, in my brain, I'm like, oh, well, thus and such did it. In a year, they lost 2 pounds per week. In a year, they lost 100 pounds. So I should be too. Well, that's not been my story. It's not been my story. And so I don't want you to get discouraged. I want you to be motivated, and I want us to change our lives. Truly, I feel like us getting better and better as human beings, for me, that's why I continue to pay thousands of dollars per year for this medication, is it's made me substantially a better mom, a better wife. I'm going to live longer. That comes with its own responsibilities, but like all of these things, I am so grateful for that. And this community, I wouldn't have this community. Like, there's just so much gratitude, not just because that's a diminishing word. I am so grateful for this community. I am so grateful even for the struggles of where I felt like it was a weight plateau, but my Zepbound weight plateau really wasn't a plateau, because I've lost 100 pounds in, what did I say, 104 weeks or whatever it is now, 106 weeks or something like that. I've lost 103 pounds over the last 106 weeks, something like that. So I hope that this helps to explain a little bit. I do think it's worth exploring if you are having a weight plateau or weight stall and you're on the highest dose of WEGOVY. Some people have had plateaus, and I'm like, okay, well then maybe that's the time you talk to your healthcare provider about titrating up. You don't make that decision. You make that decision with your healthcare provider, because they do also have your medical, if you trust them. If you don't trust them, then go to Join Fridays. Use the discount code QUEEN, because they are a telehealth company for brand names and also for compounds, and they ship the compounds through the reputable compound pharmacies. So there's a lot of choices, particularly if you're on semaglutide, to go up. Now, I'm on the highest dose, Zepbound 15 milligrams, Tirzepatide. There's nowhere else for me to go. I could go back to compounds and do a higher dose of that, but Tirzepatide is coming off the compound market with all the legal stuff. That's not going to happen. I don't see that in the cards for me. What I do see in the cards is, hopefully, God willing, CagriSema comes out and it continues to slay. And that may be an option for me here in 2025, later on in the year. Being patient with that. That's a new medication from Novo Nordisk. If you haven't seen my videos on CagriSema, go binge watch those. In fact, go binge watch all 500 of my videos. Click that like and subscribe button. Or Eli Lilly with Zepbound will come out with a higher medication, which I'm secretly hoping they do. Eli Lilly. Papa, can you hear me? I'm looking at you, Eli Lilly. Shoot me an email if you guys, and give me a little wink wink. Send me some eyelash wink winks. Is a higher dose coming out? You can just tell me. I won't tell all of my thousands of friends. I promise. When I pinky promise, I mean it. I really am a vault, though. If you do tell me something in confidence, I won't repeat it. I know so much about so many people, and that's why I've worked with celebrities, like, nobody knows, because I won't tell. Like, what is it? Lock it, sock it, lock it, put it in your pocket. I'm one of those. That's why celebrities trust me with all their secrets. I got all the secrets. So let's talk about focus for today. But absolutely, for me, I would not stop the drugs. People ask me that. I think it's probably one of my top questions. I look crazy, y'all. I just went and got some Botox done. And a little bit of filler too, but I'll fill you in. I said I wasn't gonna get more filler, but I did get a little bit because I follow what my doctor tells me. And she had said, do you want to do it? You should, if you want to. She always gives me the choice. It was very sweet. But stopping the medications and restarting, you'd have to stop, and you have to restart on the lowest dose. You don't have to, but that's, talk to your healthcare provider before making that choice. Like that, for me, I'm like, why would I be on Zepbound 15 milligrams and then have to go back to Zepbound 2.5 milligrams? It's to recalibrate the body, but studies are showing that that doesn't necessarily, that people who sometimes do that don't have the biggest bang for their buck. Again, it's a conversation to have with your healthcare provider also, because other studies are showing that when stopping, you're gaining weight and it's fat. It's not muscle. I didn't quite understand what they were talking about. Again, I'm linking the article down below about gaining the muscle back. or gaining the weight back as fat, which makes sense. I didn't quite get that, which the whole stopping the medication thing seems to me just so counterintuitive. I'm on this medication because I have a genetic predisposition to obesity. And so you wouldn't tell a blood pressure person like, oh, stop your blood pressure medication, or type 1 diabetic, oh, stop your insulin. So I don't understand why that's an option as one of the, I just don't get it. I don't get it. I feel like more information, and I could be wrong. You guys know I'm wrong on a lot of stuff. I'm right on a lot of stuff. I'm factually accurate on many, many things. But on this one, I don't know. I feel like more information is needed for me. Next, 60% of people stop taking, 60% of GLP-1 patients, so people, 60% of people on Zepbound, WEGOVY, Ozempic, Mounjaro, the whole kit and caboodle, stop taking GLP-1 medication too soon. Which links back up to stopping the medication, of that people just don't give it enough time on it. And that could also be because of side effects, which makes me bonker doodles. If people are having the most common ones, diarrhea, nausea, constipation, vomiting, go check out my videos down below. I have a ton of things I've tested. I've been testing a ginger tea. It is awesome. Awesome for nausea, because I, until Zepbound 15 milligrams, had not experienced nausea or vomiting. And I vomited twice now over the last year of being on this medication. I've been on for 2 years, but specifically the dose Zepbound 15 milligrams. It literally, that ginger tea has really, really helped me. So I will be doing a whole video on that. So if you want information on that, clutch your pearls, honey. I've tested a bunch, and I have one I really, really love. And it's hot and cold. You can do hot or like iced tea or hot tea. 60% of people stopping GLP-1 medication too soon. And so that tells me that stop taking Zepbound, that maybe just pushing past the 60-week mark. Maybe for you, because we are all different, pushing past that point on there of getting to the next level, like I had to do. Man, I suffered for months, not suffered, that's a crazy word, but going back and forth of just pushing forward to the next level, that's where I feel like the growth for me has really happened. And if you've watched the last few months, hopefully you've seen me evolve as a human being, as somebody on this GLP-1 medications, of changing my diet, not drastically, but I've made some really cool lifestyle changes with what I eat and how I move my body. And if you haven't seen on Countess of Shopping Instagram of me lifting my weights and doing all these cool things, like, it is so cool. I'm trying to show it more here on YouTube, like on YouTube Shorts. So if you're a YouTube Short person, you've probably noticed there's more YouTube Short videos coming out. Anyways, I digress. The point that I'm trying to make is I am focusing on lifting a bunch and what I'm eating a bunch, because it builds muscle. Eating the protein helps with muscle. When I'm lifting, it's helping to build muscle. It goes back, the roads go back, you know how all roads lead to Rome? The roads go back to building muscle for me, that's my focus on it. And eating that much protein also, I do 125 to 150 grams per day. Some people cannot do that. Some people can't even fathom that. Before, when I started tracking, it was literally 50 grams of protein, and that was not enough for me. I was very hungry. And then people have said over and over and over, eat 125 grams of protein and see if you're hungry. And you know what happens on days when I don't eat protein? I'm hungry and I eat more and my calories are off. I'm higher in calories. And so getting really good at hitting my calorie range and hitting my protein range has been super, super helpful for me, because at that 60-week mark, and mine came later. I mean, I feel like I've just, this journey, this whole thing has been amazing and such a blessing. But almost a year ago, well, 10 months ago, when I was at this 60-week mark, 14-month mark, I've had to make lifestyle changes. And I question, this is just me thinking, and I have no data behind this. I always like to discern if it's data driven or if it's my personal ideas. And this is my personal idea. I question if people are making lifestyle changes. I have so many friends in the Countess of Shopping community. You guys are so fabulous. Like, you guys legit are my friends. Even people in the comments who I've never met, I'm like, you're my friend. Someone's like, you're my bestie. And I'm like, I know, you're my bestie too. Like, literally just talking in the comments, it makes me laugh so much. But I have a friend in real life who is not making lifestyle changes. She lost a ton of weight. She looks fantastic. But my question to her is, and maybe she's hit her, maybe this is the other thing, is if she's near her weight, like her goal weight, then does it really matter to make lifestyle changes? For me, absolutely it does. But I've been morbidly obese for a long time. And so I don't know, this is where I'm just talking outside the box and I'm walking through this. I don't know if from that standpoint, she just has it. I don't know. But for me, if I know that the time is ticking to get the point that I'm trying to make, if getting to that 60-week mark, the 14-month mark, if that clock is ticking to get to that point, why would I not make lifestyle changes so when I do hit that mark, it's not that the medication's not working, because it is. The medication is keeping the weight off. I know that for me is my husband kept reminding me, he's like, you're not gaining weight. You're not gaining weight. You're not losing, but you're not gaining. And he goes, that in itself is a miracle right there, because I've gained back every single pound from every diet. And humiliating, in fact, when I did keto, I still do low carb, but in the keto days, many of you guys followed me then, and many of you guys are OG people, and that on the keto days, that I gained all of that weight back. And that for me just shows and proves that I need obesity care management. Having good obesity care management, that gaining the weight back, it is so frustrating to be in that space. But with GLP-1 medication was the only reason. And GLP medication is the only reason why I have not gained all the weight back. Literally, because I would have, statistically speaking. I would have by now. I would have. And so I want to encourage you with that. Like, I hope that that gives you some experience, strength, and hope that that we haven't gained the weight back. If you're at a weight plateau, you haven't gained the weight back. And that's where stopping this medication scares the dickens out of me, is I know I would. I know if I got off this medication, even if it was just for a short pocket, I would gain all the way back. And the food noise and the food chatter, that terrifies me, of having that come back, of those continuous looping thoughts about food. What am I going to eat today? Like, it's too much. It's too much. And my productivity now, because my life 2 years into this, I'm like, I've taken back that time, reclaimed my time, honey. I've reclaimed that time of not wasting it on food noise and food chatter and doing a heck of a lot of other productive things. So someone emailed me, and we were laughing about an email I got, and I'm like, how do you think I'm able to do a daily show? Like, I'm able to do a daily show and I'm like super more productive. And it's because I don't have all these food chatter noise and food thoughts that were taking and sucking my energy and time and all of it. And so I hope that this encourages you to talk to your healthcare provider, to be aware, not afraid, but aware that this may happen for you, and it may not. For some people, I mean, we're all different. Some people hit there. It's so cool to watch too, if people are like, I hit my goal weight in 6 months. That definitely is not my story. I'm still 2 years in, which averages out to about losing a pound a week. And if we go back to healthy diets of how much we should healthfully lose in a week, it's a half a pound to 2 pounds per week. I am right in that range, which then makes it not a weight stall. It makes me in the healthy range with that weight. And so something to think about with that too is, what is your weight loss per week? And if it is in that range of a half a pound to 2 pounds per week, then hot dog. For me, it's 1 pound per week, which tells me, I have said I'm a hypo loser. Hypo responder. I'm not a slower responder. I'm not a slow responder. I'm right where I'm supposed to be, which is a half a pound to 2 pounds per week. And so doing the math that way in my brain, though, to be brutally candid, authentic, and honest, in my brain, I'm like, oh, well, thus and such did it. In a year, they lost 2 pounds per week. In a year, they lost 100 pounds. So I should be too. Well, that's not been my story. It's not been my story. And so I don't want you to get discouraged. I want you to be motivated, and I want us to change our lives. Truly, I feel like us getting better and better as human beings, for me, that's why I continue to pay thousands of dollars per year for this medication, is it's made me substantially a better mom, a better wife. I'm going to live longer. That comes with its own responsibilities, but like all of these things, I am so grateful for that. And this community, I wouldn't have this community. Like, there's just so much gratitude, not just because that's a diminishing word. I am so grateful for this community. I am so grateful even for the struggles of where I felt like it was a weight plateau, but my Zepbound weight plateau really wasn't a plateau, because I've lost 100 pounds in, what did I say, 104 weeks or whatever it is now, 106 weeks or something like that. I've lost 103 pounds over the last 106 weeks, something like that. So I hope that this helps to explain a little bit. I do think it's worth exploring if you are having a weight plateau or weight stall and you're on the highest dose of WEGOVY. Some people have had plateaus, and I'm like, okay, well then maybe that's the time you talk to your healthcare provider about titrating up. You don't make that decision. You make that decision with your healthcare provider, because they do also have your medical, if you trust them. If you don't trust them, then go to Join Fridays. Use the discount code QUEEN, because they are a telehealth company for brand names and also for compounds, and they ship the compounds through the reputable compound pharmacies. So there's a lot of choices, particularly if you're on semaglutide, to go up. Now, I'm on the highest dose, Zepbound 15 milligrams, Tirzepatide. There's nowhere else for me to go. I could go back to compounds and do a higher dose of that, but Tirzepatide is coming off the compound market with all the legal stuff. That's not going to happen. I don't see that in the cards for me. What I do see in the cards is, hopefully, God willing, CagriSema comes out and it continues to slay, and that may be an option for me here in 2025, later on in the year. Being patient with that. That's a new medication from Novo Nordisk. If you haven't seen my videos on CagriSema, go binge watch those. In fact, go binge watch all 500 of my videos. Click that like and subscribe button. Or Eli Lilly with Zepbound will come out with a higher medication, which I'm secretly hoping they do. Eli Lilly, Papa, can you hear me? I'm looking at you, Eli Lilly. Shoot me an email if you guys, and give me a little wink wink. Send me some eyelash wink winks. Is a higher dose coming out? You can just tell me. I won't tell all of my thousands of friends. I promise. When I pinky promise, I mean it. I really am a vault, though. If you do tell me something in confidence, I won't repeat it. I know so much about so many people, and that's why I've worked with celebrities, like, nobody knows, because I won't tell. Like, what is it? Lock it, sock it, lock it, put it in your pocket. I'm one of those. That's why celebrities trust me with all their secrets. I got all the secrets. So let's talk about focus for today. Focus for today. What are you doing today to move you closer to your goals? One, for me, being with my son. Literally, like, that is super important to me. My focus today. Getting ready to have an ice storm. I'm kicking into mom mode here, which is why I look crazy, y'all. I'm like, but I have a matching suit on. I have my sweatpants match my top. I'm so proud of myself. And I have my like little wicked colors. I'm like, hopefully people can subtly see that I'm matching. That's not the health goals of the day. The health goal of the day, what are you doing today to move you closer to your goal? For me, tonight I have to lift. Have to. Non-negotiable. It will not happen. 100% lock. If you want to watch me with my lifting, you can go check out the Instagram stories, Countess of Shopping Instagram stories, to see, like, to hold me accountable like that, because that's real time. Whereas here in YouTube and YouTube Shorts, it's not necessarily real time. That's one. Two, my steps stink. 951 steps. It's not even 1,000, and I'm supposed to do 10,000 in a day. So your girl's got to get some steps in. I think I'm going to do some chores, quite frankly. And then three, we're making tonight, we're trying to clean out, our freezer. So I'm making steaks and a Caesar salad and crab cakes for dinner tonight. So it's going to be a very high protein vegetable, because of the Caesar salad, dense food. It's going to be good. And I will get really, really full with that. So that's good, because I really want to feel. Today is shot day for me. And so being full is important. And then also getting that protein in. I really like to get a lot of protein in on shot day as well. You guys know, obviously, I'm having my element electrolytes. That's the other thing for today. I always have those on shot day. Always, always, always. Day 0, 1, 2 for me. Always. I have one stick. People are like, it's so salty. Yes. Element electrolytes. It is an electrolyte. It's sodium, magnesium, potassium. It helps me so much with my side effects. And I've taken it the last 2 years for over 100 weeks. Consistently. Maybe there's been a couple of weeks in there I didn't take it because I wanted to test what I would do, how I would feel. I feel good. So, and if it's too salty, then just add more water. I do 1/3 of a stick in a 40-ounce tumbler, and I do that thrice in a day. So I have the whole stick in a day, but it's over 120 ounces, which is quite a bit. It makes it fun. It makes water fun with my nugget ice maker. So I got to go get my kid. He's getting ready to get out. He's doing guitar. So those are my focuses. What are your focus today? And our emoji of the day is going to be an eagle. But when you put the emoji of the day, if you don't know, we do it. So it's our bat signal that I know that you made it this far in the video. So I get to know you better because I care. When you make the emoji of the day in your head or audibly, you need to go, caw-caw! Caw-caw! I'm in a parking lot and there's all these people around me. There's all these people around me. They're like, what is this lunatic? She's filming in a parking lot. Y'all, I had to get it. I wasn't going to miss my daily show. Here's the news. The tea. I'm not going to miss my daily show. But you have to internally go, caw. And I do emoji of the day. A, it helps me to get to know you better because I care. I can see your name pop up over and over, and there's pattern recognition in that. B, I'll pray over you. And if you don't believe in prayer, I will uplift you in positive thought because this is a positive, inclusive zone. I love our community so much. Literally, I love YouTube so much. Like, I love it so much. I'm on other platforms and man, YouTube just gets me. which, by the way, if you didn't see in my Countess of Shopping Instagram stories, speaking of other platforms, I got to get my play button. So I put in to get it. I thought it was going to take 6 weeks. It's when you have 100,000 subscribers. I call them friends. You guys are friends. 100,000 friends. I get my silver play button, which I have wanted so badly. I didn't want the friend thing. Like, that to me is some influencers, and I'm not an influencer, I call myself a content creator, get wrapped around the axle. That's not me. I'm like, I really do want the award though. Like, the actual play button looks so cool to me. So I got to order that. It's free. But if you get a replacement one, it's $224. So I'm debating. Tell me in the comments. This is my other question. Just us guys and gals gabbing. Because I know there's lurkers out there. Our guys are out there. There's so many of you guys there that are still watching right now. And I love you to pieces too. Should I get the Count one of those buttons? And should I get the Duke one of those buttons? My kid, my 9-year-old kid. He is obsessed with our community. Like, he'll help me heart comments. He helps with his reading and learning. He'll help type out comments. I'll tell him what to type, but he'll type it out. And I always cover your names to protect your anonymity too, by the way, even though it's like public comments, but I still do try to protect, like, I won't let him see stuff. So should I get them play buttons too? Should I just, because I can put their names on it. Should I do that or no? Tell me in the comments. This is where I'm like, I am actually wanting your opinion. Sometimes I'm like, no unsolicited advice, but I really do want this. I'm soliciting your advice. So do you think I should get them or no? I can't decide. I need to make the decision soon though. But I got my award. Hopefully it's getting shipped. And apparently I think it's got to go through customs. It's a whole thing. So anyways, I'll keep you posted on that. Okay, it's time for me to go pick up this sweet little boy. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings because life is delicious. I love you guys so super much. Caw-caw! Put your eagle comment down in the comments. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And share this video with your bestie too, by the way. They just started GLP-1 or they're on a GLP-1.